Hey, it's your boy J Mass, doing good and feeling good. Again, I'm with Decker. If you guys want to inbox me. I'll let you get my telephone number. Willing to talk to you about the situation here. Just really want to warn people in advance about CRST as well as Swift, Knight, and CR England. These are bigger companies that don't appreciate their drivers. I'm going to just speak from the knowledge of being with CRST. We basically started off, everything was well. We did good in the training. I'm not going to complain about their training school, nada, and just lumped them all into one bunch. NADA was very helpful with me getting my CDLs. The instructors are knowledgeable. They may hurry you up and get you out of there in 2 weeks, but they're under the gun too from CRST. This company is making billions of dollars, and they continuously lie to you. They tell you about every month how they're gonna improve the company, and each month they're gonna give the driver something. Well, they lied about having the units in the vehicles so that you would be able to have, TVs and microwave CPUs, which never occurred while I was working there. And they talk about fixing the terminals, which are filthy and actually really unlivable unless you are used to living outside. Right, these aren't the type of facilities that you would want to lay your face on as far as the furniture, and that's alone sit in to have to go and use the bathroom. The other side of it is this. If you're into making money, CRST is not the company for you. You have people who are DMs that are I'm going to say on a disrespect level never seen. I mean, you have these individuals who actually believe that you're subhuman and that you're going to take anything. So that just lets you know the type of people that they've been dealing with. Not that the people are bad, but, they may be naive or young or haven't experienced life on a whole and believe this is the way that a company runs. Basically, the other side of it is, I'm, taking loads. I'm gonna say from New Hampshire to California, and you take a load like that, you would anticipate getting paid well. Well, if you'll look on your pay sheet or your check stub through your CRST app, you'll notice that your pay actually dropped from 31 cents a mile after training to 19 cents a mile. That's right, I said it, 19 cents a mile. So a trip from California, Mexico, like one of the spots I stayed in, or Oakland, California, to Cranberry, New Jersey, will only yield you around $300 odd dollars after taxes. So, you're making these long trips, we're saying that's almost 2,300 miles. And you're making $300. In addition to that, you make it there in time. You said, oh, this is a good trip. Let me add these up. It'll be $500 before taxes on each one. And you end up sitting for 3 days. Do you understand that? I mean, you're actually sitting out of town in a vehicle for 3 days. And why I bring that up is actually what happened is I ended up catching the flu during the time of training. And, the heat worked in the vehicle, but as it started warming up, we were in Atlanta and didn't have any AC. So I really started getting sick, So, driving 11 hours started becoming almost undoable. So I get through that, and I didn't ask for any home time. I told them I want 2 months straight after training, so I get right in the truck and start driving again. Me and my guy Roger, we get in the truck. We're doing trips. We actually end up. You got to understand. We go to McKinney. I've been waiting in Dallas for a week for a truck that they said was already ready for me, which it wasn't. Uh, and then on top of that, they didn't want to pay until it was 2 days after I had been sitting, like it was my fault. It's not. It's like your bills; they don't stop. Your rent doesn't stop. Taking care of your family doesn't stop. But they're unwilling to make sure that you're okay financially, and they prefer to put you on a bus, a Greyhound bus, than to get you a rental like here. They don't even give bus tickets out here at Decker. Either you're going to be in a rental or they're going to fly you out, wherever you need to go. They're only an 800 truck company, so they even have a picture of you, and your DM knows what you look like, gives you their personal telephone number, and actually talks to you like a human being. But to finish the story, we end up finally getting a truck, which we end up repoing from McKinney from another driver who quits CRST. And I was just wondering, I was talking to other drivers who had been with CRST, even the trainers, and no one really had anything good to say. That says a lot, some of the people who are owner operators, they make more money, and CRST treats them more like humans. But at the end of the day, this is probably one of the worst companies that you could imagine. Anyway, we're out there, and the idle doesn't work on the truck. We're sitting in the truck, and I'm still sick, and I end up getting strep throat because they don't want to get us a hotel room. And it's a lady named Kay. If you got Kay as your DM, you're in trouble. She doesn't care anything about you, and she's going to talk to you. I don't know how old she is. I know she's not as old as I am. Will talk to you as if you don't have the intelligence of a child. Anyway, we're telling her it's cold. We're in Minneapolis. This is prior to us getting out to California. We're in Denver, and we're also in Minneapolis. There's no heat in the vehicle, and they're asking us, it's the nighttime DMs when we find out. They're like, what are we supposed to do? There's nothing we can do about it. And I'm like thinking to myself, are you serious? You know what I mean? So basically, I got to spend the money out of my pocket to get a hotel, and then you're gonna fight to get my reimbursement because you're telling me I should have just stayed in the vehicle. It's insane. Anyway, we're in the vehicle and we're freezing. I get sicker and sicker. I can barely drive at night. I used to, I was the night shift driver or whatever, and around 3 o'clock, I would just pull over. At 3 o'clock, I know I can't, I'm not gonna stay woke. I pull over to one of the truck stops, go ahead and sleep till about 5 or 6 o'clock, and start driving again. The incredible thing was just the conversations that I was having with this company. Home time, you can forget about it. I put in for home time, and they got me home, 2 days after the time I was supposed to be at home time. I never made it to the fitting for my suit for my brother's wedding, and ended up doing everything last minute. But the biggest part of it was my home time was for me to go get my DOT physical. At the time, I had the flu, like I said, prior to coming to CSRT, and my blood pressure was reading high. So they told me, it was borderline, so, come back in 3 months' time. So they gave me a card for 3 months. Well, I let everyone know from the time I was there until the time it expired that I needed to go and go back to the DOT there in Pennsylvania, the medical place, and get another physical. When she finally gets me home, my license is actually downgraded. It almost expired. So I go, money out of pocket, go to DOT, where you get your physical, get the physical done. Now my blood pressure's normal, everything's fine. They give me a clean bill of health, give me a DOT card for 2 years. I go to the Pennsylvania Department of Motor Vehicles. They reclassify my, my CDLs, and I'm thinking everything's good. You know what I mean? That's one thing about me. If I say I'm going to do something, I want to be honorable about it, even if you're not honorable, which CRST isn't. I called back to talk to Kay. We communicated through Qualcomm and this number she gave me where I would be able to text. And she had a picture of the letter that the state of Philadelphia had sent me about, my DOT physical, when I was supposed to take it and when it would expire. Upon calling her, this lady says to me that I've violated CRST policy by going and getting my DOT physical, something that she knew prior to me going and before they sent me my my monies to get it, which it was supposed to be in advance of $200 some odd. They took it back the next day because I got paid on that day. They told me that I was unworthy of getting $500 from them because they wanted me to take a sleep test. Now you can buy one online or whatever for like almost $250 to $150, but to take a real sleep test, it's about $500. And that's what they said to me. Somebody who got out there on the road, I was there for 3 months straight, driving for them, in all kind of conditions, because basically I drove all winter through, Utah, North Platte, Nebraska, just Nebraska, period, through the California mountains, putting chains on the tires, being dependable, even making it to places a day ahead of time. But, at the end of the day, like I said, no respect. She lied about that, and then I was supposed to speak to a supervisor named Reese. It never occurred. This guy, I would leave messages. He would never call back. And she continued to be rude and disrespectful and just basically repeat the same verbiage over and over again. But if you want to be treated bad, if you want to get underpaid, if you want to be sitting around, not getting loads, something's really going on with this company because I'm not the only one that will say it. You'll find it from other people. CRST is not the place to go. And, I would like you guys to get in contact with me so you can come to Decker. But if that's not your choice, again, I'm going to tell you just my advice. Look for the smaller companies, the mom and pops places, and the people who are more hands-on. They're not going to just pay you better. They're going to treat you better. It's your boy J Mass. I'm out.